Hello, Tiffany. How are you? I turned my room around and forgot how messy my house is. So I apologize for missing last week and not giving anybody any notice. Maybe I should blame Tiffany. She forced me to go to a graduation party. That's not true either. It was a graduation party for a very dear friend's daughter, and I just forgot to post anything saying I wasn't going to be here. So, but anyway, oh wow, chiropractor, huh? Wow. So I'm glad to see y'all. Glad to see everybody showing up again tonight. Looks like my Facebook feed failed, so we're on Instagram and on YouTube. And yes, I turned my room around. I don't know why, but so that's it. So as everybody knows, this is a trauma recovery yoga practice. Kind of ironic that my sister-in-law was up here, and she is a yoga teacher also, and she teaches something called Shravupa, and was telling me about how she started. She followed along with me on a couple of my classes, and she says, "Man, that is intense and fast." And I think that it just shows a different perspective of the different forms that yoga takes. And so it truly is, there's yoga for everybody out there. So, but anyway, so now my little bird just tweeted and told me that it's time to start practice. It's 5 o'clock. Trauma recovery yoga. You'll notice a few differences. There isn't any music. If you were here in my house, there's no incense burning. We don't do any of that stuff. There's no calling out. There's no physical corrections, which obviously kind of hard to physically correct through the camera. But in person, the live classes, there's no calling out, no touch, no corrections during the practice. And it's all about choice. This is truly your yoga, your way. And so if I'm doing something that doesn't work for you, that's okay. Do what works for you. Even if that is just sitting on your mat and breathing, you're still doing yoga. So with that being said, let's get started. And we start trauma recovery yoga practices the same way. It's all about practicing self-regulation. And practice is what we do to take and create new, better habits. We don't try to break old habits. We try to create new habits by practicing. Establishing a regular practice of new good habits. So, to start self-regulation, we begin by grounding. Grounding is simply feeling where you're connecting with the ground, coming into an easy seated position, however you want to sit. If you want your legs out in front of you, that's okay. If you're okay sitting with your legs crisscross, that's okay. If you're one of those incredibly bendy, quote unquote, double jointed people that can put yourself into the full lotus, have at it. I can't, and probably never will. If I did, I'd need much more than a chiropractor to straighten me out. So, in our easy seated position, begin to notice where we're feeling the pressure and the contact with the earth. Feeling it maybe on the side of your feet, on your sit bones, and just truly noticing the support that is always there for us. Remembering and thinking about how that stability is always right there whenever you need it. You start feeling a little wobbly, put your hand down on the ground. Feel that support, feel that stability, and see that support and see that stability. Next, we begin by centering. Centering is a process of beginning to take and bring everything, our focus from out here to in here. And we do that by first lifting our pelvic floor as if trying to restrict the flow of urine. And then pulling your belly button in towards your spine, continuing to breathe, but feeling that heat begin to build in your gut. You're beginning to stoke that inner furnace that we can use to burn up all of those things that no longer serve us. And maybe, at least for me, and I think for you, if you notice it, you'll feel all of your awareness coming into your core. Your thoughts and the focus of your being is moving into this core. Next, we begin to notice the breath. At first, just noticing and saying literally saying to ourselves, I'm breathing in, I'm breathing out. Feeling the air flowing in, feeling the air flowing out. Feeling the cool air flowing in, feeling the warm air flowing out. Focusing on being aware of what your breath is doing. As it moves in through your sinuses, down your throat and into your lungs, and then flowing gently back out, maybe making the tip of your nose tickle gently. And finally, we're going to move in to the practice, which is we're going to take and start practicing to link the breath to the movement. And we're going to start by establishing the breath. And yes, I've got a pesky fly in my house. It's because my dogs keep knocking open the doors because of all of these fireworks going on. So we're going to do a 3-part yogic breathing. We're going to take and begin by inhaling into our belly till our belly inflates big. The air continues to flow in, making our lungs inflate and our shoulders rise. And finally, that last little bit of air that we can sip in makes our eyes cool and sparkle. And now we're going to exhale just the opposite, allowing our chin to come down. As our lungs deflate, our shoulders soften, and finally our belly button comes back in. Inhale, big belly. Shoulders lift. Eyes cool and separate, cool and sparkle. Exhale, the chin comes down, shoulders soften, belly comes in. Inhale, big belly. Shoulders lift, eyes cool and sparkle. Exhale, the chin comes down, the shoulders soften, the belly comes in. Inhale, big belly. Shoulders lift. Eyes cool and sparkle. And now for the final time, we're going to exhale, allowing that chin to come down, our shoulders to soften, and our belly to come in. And then we're going to allow our breathing to just move back into its natural pace, but still holding on to that awareness. Am I breathing in? Am I breathing out? focusing on that breathing so that we can move into the movement phase of our practice. So as we inhale, we're going to bring the right ear to the right shoulder, focusing on bringing the ear to the shoulder, not lifting the shoulder up to the ear. Continuing to breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in. And then as we breathe out, allow the chin to fall back down towards the chest. And on the next inhale, we bring the left ear to the left shoulder. Continuing to breathe in and breathe out. Feeling that shoulder blade stay plugged in as we breathe in. And then as we exhale, allow the chin to come back down towards the chest. Now we're going to move into a series of neck rolls, linking again, movement with the breath. So we're going to inhale, bringing the left ear to the left shoulder and rolling back. Exhale, coming to the right and down. Inhale, coming to the right or the left and back. Exhaling to the right and down. Inhaling to the left as we extend. Exhaling to the right as we contract. One more time, inhaling to the left and back. Exhaling to the right and down. And then pausing here. Continuing to notice that breath flowing in and flowing out before reversing the rotation as we inhale to the right and back, exhaling to the left and down. Inhaling to the right and back, exhaling to the left and down. Inhaling to the right and extend. Exhaling to the left and contract. One more time around, inhaling to the left and back, exhaling to the right and down. Continuing to maintain awareness of that breath, feeling the air flowing in and flowing out. Going to take in, straighten the spine up, bring the shoulders back. Tucking the chin gently before bringing the right hand up, fingers spread, palms forward, elbow at a 90-degree angle, before turning and shifting the gaze and the palm towards each other, wiggling the fingers, blinking the eyes, and then watching that hand come down to the mat. Watching it walk slowly away. Before bringing the other hand up, up, up towards the ceiling and exhaling, coming over the top, extending on the left, compressing on the right. Inhale, extend a little bit more. Exhale, come down just a little bit more. Before inhaling, coming back up, allowing your hands to come back down towards your knees. And now we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So we're going to bring that left hand up, palm forward, fingers spread wide, shifting the gaze and the palm towards each other, wiggling the fingers, blinking the eyes, before watching that hand come down to the mat, walking slowly away, before the other hand comes up to the shoulder, extends up towards the ceiling, and then we exhale, come over into a side bend on the other direction. Inhale, extend. Exhale, come down just a little bit more. Inhale, come up. And then exhale, allow the hands to come down to the knees. And now we're going to inhale, bring the hands up overhead. Interlacing the fingers, bringing the index fingers pointing up like the pointer on a hand on a clock. Bring the pads of the thumb together before inhaling, reaching up, up, up. Exhale, tick over 1, 2 numbers on your personal clock. Inhale, extend. Exhale, come down a little bit more before inhaling, coming back up. Exhaling, coming down 1, 2 numbers on the other direction. Inhale, extend. Exhale, come down a little bit. And then inhale, come back up. And now we're going to shift our gaze up to that cup between our hands. And on our next inhale, we're going to inhale hard and reach and stretch up before opening the hands and exhaling. Bring the gaze down to level. And as we open up our arms and our heart, we feel the weight of the day begin to roll down our backs. Inhale, bring the left hand to the right knee, right hand behind the right hip. Inhale, sit up straight. Exhale, twist at the torso, bringing the gaze out to the right. Inhale, sit up straight. Shift the gaze back over that back shoulder, and using that front hand, you can hit your nose if you need to. Pull yourself around a little bit more to intensify the stretch. Inhale, unwind back, and then bring the right hand to the left knee, left hand behind the left hip. Inhale, sit up straight. Exhale, twist out to the left. Inhale, sit up. Shift the gaze over that left shoulder. And exhale, use that front hand to pull yourself around a little bit more, intensifying that stretch. Inhale. Come back to center. Now we're going to move into tabletop. Bring our knees underneath our hips. Tops, for me, it works best. Bring the tops of my feet flat on the mat. Shoulders, hands directly under my shoulders. Fingers spread wide. Again, seeing and feeling that support, that grounding. And now we're going to inhale, feel our spine lengthen. Exhale, look over the right shoulder at the right pinky toe. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, look back over at the left pinky toe. Inhale, back to center. Exhale to the right. Inhale, back to center. And one last time, exhale, crunch over to the left. Coming back to center, we're going to take and move into bird dog. We do that by extending the left leg, tucking the toes, maybe taking a second to bounce a little bit to begin to stretch out those tendons. Shifting the weight into the left hand, extending the right hand out to the far side of the room, pulling the belly button in to engage the core, lifting that back leg up. Maybe not having the couch in the way like I do, but that's okay. We practice where we can, where we are. Exhale, come back down. This time we're going to extend the right leg out, tucking those toes, bouncing a little bit to stretch those tendons out, shifting the weight into the right hand, extending the left hand out, pulling the core in, lifting that back leg up, feeling the tremble, feeling the shake. Exhale, come back down. Now we're going to move into our first down dog of the evening. I do this. You can do it however you want to. This is how I do it. I tuck my toes, bring my sit bones back towards my heels, bring my head down towards the mat, and then unfold my legs, pushing my sit bones up towards the ceiling. Not worrying about form, not worrying about perfection. Remembering this is practice. And this is your yoga, your way. If your knees are bent, that's what they're supposed to be. If your heels are off the mat, that's just fine. So as we're sitting here in this inversion, bringing our head down below the level of our heart, feeling our heart begin to get a little bit of a break because it's not pushing blood up to our brain. We're then going to shift the gaze forward and slowly, slowly, slowly walk towards the front of the mat. Inhale halfway up. Exhale, forward fold. Bring the hands up to the crease in the hips. Straighten the knees. Flatten the back. Let the head hang forward. And then slowly, one vertebrae at a time, roll up, 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 up. Before getting to the top, rolling the shoulders back, palms open, head up, and feeling a little bit more of all of the garbage you piled on yourself float off your shoulders. Inhale, hands overhead. Exhale, forward fold, lead with the heart. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, plant the hands, step back, high plank, lower down, low push-up. Turn the feet over, pushing up to upward dog, tucking the toes, pushing back into downward dog. Now is where we begin another practice to create a new good habit. The habit of speaking kindly to yourself and positive to yourself. So begin silently in your own head, following along with similar comments, always starting with the same two words. I am important. I am okay. I am powerful. Inhale, bring the right leg up. Exhale, swing it forward between the hands. Again, not worrying about grace and poise. Rising up, back foot across the back of the mat. Front knee bent, back leg straight. Knee over the ankle, rising up into warrior two. With your arms extended either way, gaze out over the forward hand, out over the tip of the middle finger, in that classic yogurt commercial pose. Feeling the stability, feeling your strength. Turning that front hand over to reverse our warrior. Bring that hand up towards the ceiling. Bring the back hand down the back side of that back leg. Feeling that stretch on the inside of that back leg. Before rising back up into warrior two. Straightening the front leg. Tipping the pelvis back. And allowing yourself to fall over that front leg. Reaching that back arm up towards the ceiling. Feeling that stretch now on the inside of the front leg. Before rising back up into warrior two, windmilling the hands down, stepping back and pushing right back up into downward dog. Continuing, practicing that new habit of positivity. I am doing yoga. I am worthy. I am good. Inhale, bring the left leg up. Exhale, swing it forward. Maybe you're even more awkward on this side like I am. Rising up into warrior two. Hello, Jennifer. Hello, Christy. Finding ourselves in warrior two on the other side. Again, that classic yogurt commercial pose. And again, nobody's judging, nobody's critiquing. But in our mind, we look just like that guy on that high meadow talking about eating his Yoplait or his Dannon or whatever kind of yogurt it is. We don't care what other people see. We only care about what we see in our own mind. Turn that front hand over. Reach it up towards the ceiling. Bring that back hand down the back side of the back leg. Feeling that stretch. Feeling that tug. Before exhaling, rising back up, straightening that front leg, tipping the pelvis back, allowing yourself to fall over that front leg, feeling now that stretch on the inside of that front leg. Inhale, come back up into warrior two. Exhale, windmill the hands down, step back, pushing back into high plank, downward dog. Continuing again that conversation. I am comfortable being me. I am a likable person. I am just plain okay. Inhale, look forward. Hop, walk, or jump. Yeah, I'm never going to jump. To the front of the mat. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweep the hands up overhead. Exhale, pull it all down to the heart. Inhale, bring the hands up overhead. Exhale, forward fold, lead with the heart. Inhale, halfway up, flat back. Exhale, forward fold, plant the hands, step back, high plank, lower down, little push up, turn the feet over, pushing up into upward dog, tucking the toes, pushing back into downward dog. Again, continuing that practice of positivity. I am taking care of me today. I am aware of how awesome I am. I am valuable. Inhale, bring the right leg up. Exhale, swing that right leg forward, dropping down into a low lunge on this side. Always knowing it's okay to come back into a kneeling pose or drop back into a hero's pose to take the pressure off the knees. And as we're concentrating on squaring our shoulders up and lengthening our spines, we're going to inhale, extend the hands up overhead. And then as we shift our gaze up between the hands, we see a beautiful balloon in our favorite color. And on that balloon, we're writing down all of those negative things we always tell ourselves. We're writing them all down, all over that balloon, even to where we got to rotate it and write it down on the other side, because we're making sure we write down all of the negative crap we lay on ourselves. And then we're lifting that balloon up, 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 and releasing it. And seeing it and feeling it take away all of those terrible things that we tell ourselves, leaving ourselves free to communicate to ourselves in a positive manner. Inhale, bring the hands back up overhead. Exhale, plant the hands, step back, pushing right back up into downward dog. And again, reinforcing those positive habits that we're creating. I am doing yoga. I am worthy to give and receive love. I am lovable. Inhale, bring that left leg up. Exhale, swing it forward. Again, doesn't matter how graceful or how awkward you are, coming into a low lunge on the other side, knowing it's okay to drop back into a kneeling or a hero's pose. Squaring those shoulders up, tucking the chin gently before inhaling, reaching the hands up overhead. And this time, as we shift the gaze up, we see a beautiful sky lantern. And into that beautiful sky lantern, with its little flickering candle, we're putting in all of the fears, all of the anxiety, all of the emotions that put those bands around our chest and hold us back. We're putting all of that in there, lifting that little sky lantern up and releasing it. And as we watch it float higher and higher and higher, we feel ourselves becoming freer, lighter, and more at ease. Inhale, bring the hands back overhead. Exhale, plant the hands, step back, pushing right back into downward dog. I am okay. I am important. I am valued. Now we're going to take an inhale and we're going to step through into an easy seated position. Again, coming into whatever seated position works for you, just long enough to separate our feet apart, bring the bottoms of our feet together into a butterfly position. Bottoms of the feet together. Maybe your knees are up here. Mine were for a long time. Maybe they're down here. Maybe your knees can go clear down to the mat. Doesn't matter. We're all different. We're all perfect in our own way. There's no better Max than this one sitting right here. Just like there's no better Jennifer, or no better Christy, or no better Tiffany than is right there on your mat. You all and we all are made exactly the way we're supposed to be. So now we're going to work on opening these hips up and releasing some of the tension, some of the stress and the strain, the little things that make us tighten up and that we store down in our hips and our lower back. To do that, we're going to feel our back straighten up, chin come neutral, and we're going to focus on trying to hinge at the hips. And again, not beating ourselves up if our back curves a little bit, feeling ourselves pull up and allowing ourselves to hinge at the hips and our heart fall down over our feet, feeling it opening up those hips and just allowing them to release that tightness, release that tension, release that stress. Inhale, feel your head pulled forward a little bit more. Exhale, sink down just a little bit. Maybe you begin to feel it tugging and stretching and releasing that tension in your lower back, letting you feel so much more at ease. As we work on chasing out all of those little things that we store all over our body that cumulatively lead to a stressful, intense life. We're just letting it all just release and flow away. Feeling maybe ourselves sinking down just a smidgen more. Feeling that relaxation that is brought about by the release of that tension. Inhale, slowly come back up. Now, we're going to take and bring our knees up, our feet still on the mat, coming into our first of 3 boat poses. You can put your hands behind you, your knees. You can put them back here, whatever works for you. Again, this is your yoga, your way. So we're going to shift our weight into our sit bones, pulling in our belly button to engage our core. We're going to lift one foot and both feet. Maybe beginning to feel a little bit of a tremble, maybe letting loose a little bit, feeling a bit more of a tremble. Right ankle over left. Deflate, deflate. Inhale, lift the seat. Exhale, set it back down and come right back into our second boat pose. Again, really feeling that tremble, feeling that shake, and then beginning to recognize that that tremble and that shake is because your mind and your body are working together to overcome fear. Left ankle over right. Deflate, deflate. Inhale, lift the seat. Exhale, come right back into our third and final boat pose. And now that we know what that tremble and that shake is, we actively use it in our mind and our body to chase even more of that fear of the unknown, the fear of failure out and away. Right ankle over left. Deflate, deflate. Inhale, lift the seat. Exhale, set it back down before rolling over your legs or getting there however works for you. We're moving into a high plank. Hands solidly on the mat underneath your shoulders, fingers spread wide, toes tucked. back straight, knowing it's okay to bring your knees down if that's what's in your practice today. There's no right, there's no wrong, there's just you. So feeling, again, those little tremors coming on, we allow the heels to fall over to the right, reaching the left hand up towards the ceiling, embracing that tremble, embracing that shake, coming back down to high plank, allowing the heels to fall over on the other side, reaching that other hand up towards the ceiling. Again, feeling your mind and your body chasing fear away. Coming back down to high plank. We immediately come down into a forearm plank, feeling our shoulders separate, feeling a different shake as we bring our knees to the mat, our thighs to the mat, our belly, separating our hands, and bringing one ear to the mat, and finally allowing the feet to flop over and the tops of the feet to come in contact with the earth. As we're lying here now, feeling the stability of the ground expressed by the rising and falling of our torso as the breath comes in and goes out. We begin to slow down to where we finally begin to feel and hear our heartbeat, maybe for the first time today. We begin to recognize that heartbeat is pulsing out love, pulsing it out to the top of our head and down to the tips of our toes. Just pulsing, pulsing, pulsing. Bring the head up and bringing the other ear to the mat. And now we can feel and envision that love beginning to radiate out from us in concentric circles. At first, we feel it embracing our household, extending out, embracing our neighborhood, and maybe even extending out to wrap our whole community in pure, unselfish love. Now we're going to bring our hands down on either side of our chest, elbows pulled in like a couple chicken wings, pushing ourselves up into tabletop, just long enough to bring our big toes together, knees to the outside edge of the mat, sit bones towards the heels. We're moving into child's pose, and I do this by stacking one hand, one fist, then the other fist on top, and then bringing my forehead or third eye into contact with the top of my own personal column. Feeling that pressure on that contact point for our pineal gland or think center. And beginning to experience that sensation that putting pressure on that pineal gland brings. The feeling of safety that allows your body internally to begin to slow down and just begin to let go little by little by little. As we're lying here with that gentle pressure in the middle of our forehead, begin to envision a whirlpool swirling around in that think center. As that whirlpool goes around and around, it's collecting all of the last few things that were left behind when we chased out the things that no longer serve us. It's seeking out and sucking up those last couple things that we just don't need in our lives anymore. And then we feel that opening up, and we can see and feel all of that baggage flowing down through our own personal little column, through our fists, and being absorbed and taken away by the earth, leaving us freer, lighter, and more at ease. Now we're going to take and gently lift the head slightly, separate the hands, bringing the palms of the hands flat onto the mat, elbows still on the mat, keeping the head tucked. We're going to begin to walk the hands back towards the body, keeping that head tucked before slowly rolling the shoulders back. Bring the gaze up, blinking the eyes, and feeling all of the rest of the crap that we've piled on ourselves just slide down off our back and just float away, leaving us so much more at ease. And now we're going to take in, move towards bringing our back onto the mat. So you can lean over to the side like I'm trying to do, basically bringing your legs out in front of you, feet on the mat, knees up, and allowing your back to roll down flat onto the mat. Bring your arms out to either side. Maybe you're lucky and you got a nice open space between the two pieces of couches like I do. Walking your feet out to the outer edge of the mat. Your gaze up towards the ceiling. And one last time, we're going to link the breath to the movement as we allow the knees to go into windshield wiper. So we're going to inhale. And then as we exhale slowly, the knees are going to fall to the right. Inhaling slowly, the knees are going to slowly come up. Exhale, the knees fall slowly to the left. Inhale, slowly, slowly, slowly back up. Exhale, they slowly fall to the right. Inhale, slowly, slowly, slowly up. Exhale, slowly, slowly, slowly to the left. Inhale, bringing the knees up. Exhale, allow them to fall over to the right, letting them hang heavily down there. Maybe even bringing the bottom foot up on top of that upper knee to just deepen the stretch a bit. Maybe shifting the gaze out over the opposite arm to twist and wring out those tendons that run up and down your spine. Feeling it just squeeze out all of the last little bits of tension. We're going to inhale, bring the gaze back up towards the ceiling. Take the foot off the top of the knee. Inhale, bring the knees up. Exhale, allow them to fall to the left. Maybe again, bringing that foot to the top of the upper knee. Shifting the gaze out over the opposite arm. And feeling that wringing out happening as it just squeezes out any tension, any stress, any strain. Just letting your back loosen up and be free. Inhale, bring the gaze back up to the ceiling. Take that upper foot off of the knee. Inhale, bring the knees up. And then we're going to exhale as we allow the legs to slowly stretch out, moving into the final position of the night, Shavasana. Traditionally on your back, but if you want to lay on your belly, that's okay. If you want to sit up, that's fine. If you just want to sit on the couch and relax or in the Barca lounger, that's wonderful. Me, I'm laying on my back, feet about 18 inches apart, allowing the feet to flop open, which reduces or almost eliminates any stress or strain on your hip joints. And now my arms just gently down to either side. Palms can be up, Palms can be down, allowing the eyes to slowly close or the gaze to soften, whichever works for you. Just letting go of the breath, just allowing yourself to just be. And as you're allowing yourself to just be and accepting yourself exactly how you are, you'll feel that last little bits release. And all of a sudden, or maybe not all of a sudden, a sensation of sinking deeper and deeper into the mat will come over you. As you just slowly, all of your muscles and tendons feel more safe and secure. You just release, sink, sink, sink. And as you're lying here in this state of ease, feeling like a puddle of melted butter, you begin to notice a beautiful ball of light rolling down towards your forehead. As that light gets closer, you feel the center of your forehead begin to tingle. As that ball of light, that ball of energy, gently pushes in through your skull, illuminating all of those dark places, chasing out all of the shadows, all of the cobwebs, all of the little things waiting to jump out, tense you up. It's chasing them all away. You feel that light pushing all of that down through your sinuses, leaving in its wake just pure illumination, pure release, pure bliss. Your eyes sink deeper and deeper into your socket. As that light travels down behind your jaw, you feel your tongue resting heavily against your teeth. You feel that light pushing all of that garbage down, leaving your shoulders lighter, freer, and at ease. You feel that light embracing your heart, lifting your spirit higher and higher. That light continues to flow and flood down through your belly, burning through any of those bands of anxiety and tension, just leaving you free to inhale deeply and exhale completely. That light flows down through your pelvis, making the front of your thighs begin to tingle as it pushes down, down, down through your calves. You feel the bottom of your feet begin to tingle as that light is pushing out all of that darkness that we just don't need anymore, leaving your body completely and totally illuminated and lighter, more at ease than it's been all day long. As you're lying here in this state of ease, I ask you to hear my words and repeat them silently to yourself. May I be healthy. May I be at ease. May I be safe. May my loved ones be happy. May my loved ones be at ease. May my loved ones be safe. May my community be happy. May my community be at ease. May my community be safe. May my Yorkie be happy. May my Yorkie be at ease. May my Yorkie be safe. May the whole world find happiness, safety, and security. We're now going to begin to invite conscious movement back into our body. Wiggling our fingers, rotating our wrists, rotating our ankles and wiggling our toes. Pulling our hands into our chest over our heart before extending those hands up towards the ceiling, reaching, yearning, striving towards the light. Then pulling the knees in towards the chest, allowing the arms to wrap us in a giant, well-deserved hug. We're going to rock gently from side to side, massaging that lower back, encouraging it to stay loose and not hold on to that tension that we so often store down there. And then allowing ourselves to roll over into a fetal position on your favorite side, pillowing your head on your lower bicep, your upper arm coming into contact with the floor. Again, feeling and noticing that stability for one last time. Keeping the eyes closed to hold on to this sense of ease that you have gifted yourself with. Push yourself up slowly into an easy seated position. Whatever works for you. I invite you to join me in bringing your hands together at heart center. Thumbs pressing gently into your sternum and allowing your head to bow down to the ultimate ruler, the heart. And I ask you one more time to hear these words, say them silently to yourself, and know them to be as true about you as they are about me. I am whole. I am worthy of giving and receiving love. I am in a state of ease. This beautiful, wonderful light within me sees, recognizes, and acknowledges that same beautiful light within each and every one of you. Thank you so much for sharing this practice with me today. Namaste. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you joining me. I'm going to be at the beach for the next month, and I'm hoping to be able to find a place, maybe in the park, to practice. So I hope to see you next week. So be safe. Remember to keep breathing and just let that shit go.